New this morning, an awareness campaign that cervical cancer rates are rising at staggering rates. A new MD Anderson study revealing exactly who is receiving these cancer diagnoses. The author of the study, Tricia Embry, joins us this morning with more. Welcome. Thank you for coming in to talk about this.
Yes, thank you for having me.
What is going on here? What groups of people are we talking about? Is it affecting everybody?
Well, unfortunately, our study found increases specifically in low-income counties, specifically in distant stage cervical cancer, so the more advanced later stage cancers.
And that is what's really difficult because this can cause lifelong problems, maybe not even allow them to give birth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely an issue. Cervical cancer tends to be more treatable when you can either detect it early or find precancerous lesions that you can treat earlier on. But once you get to a distant stage, it's a little bit more difficult of a prognosis.
The last time that we looked back at I guess a study similar to this was in 2019, and at that time it was showing that the problem was more with Hispanic women, that those were on the rise. What has changed in this amount of time?
Yeah, so Hispanic women still carry a heavier burden of cervical cancer. There are still more cases there. Our study looked at trends over the last 20 years, and we actually saw an increase in non-Hispanic white women that was concerning, as well as an upward trend in Hispanic women.
What does socioeconomics have to do with this? It's so frustrating to see these numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we think it has a lot to do with it. I mean, we're seeing the rise in lower income or lower resourced areas, and there can be many things that can prevent women from getting the care that they need, and so it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, but talking about things like this and getting it publicly known, maybe women will get screened. That's what's so important, right? A screening every single year. Starting at what age do you suggest?
Well, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force doesn't necessarily recommend annual screening. For pap smears, they recommend women between the ages of 21 and 29 be screened every 3 years. And then once you hit 30, you start also getting a co-test with human papillomavirus testing, and that's every 5 years.
Prevention's the key here, though, right? How are vaccinations helping in all of this fight? Do you feel like that's making a dent in it?
Yeah, vaccinations have shown to be effective, and there have been recent studies that have shown lower or even no cervical cancer cases in those who have been vaccinated. And so vaccination is going to play a really big role in this as we move forward.
And that's because it's knocking down the human papillomavirus that is so highly spread among this population, especially that you're talking about, right? And that's what can often lead to cervical cancer?
Yeah, human papillomavirus is one of the most common viruses that we see in the general adult population. And the vaccination helps to prevent persistent infections with HPV.
Certainly you want to catch this early, but if there are any, I guess, symptoms of cervical cancer or problems, what would those look like?
Oftentimes, cervical cancer doesn't present with very many symptoms, so it's just really important to make sure that we're getting recommended screenings on time.
And that's why, that's why it's so important, because if you don't know, it can be too late and can cause all kinds of medical problems. Is treatment getting any better for it when it becomes late stage?
Our study didn't necessarily look at treatment. We are more so focused on just improving prevention, because if you can prevent it, then you don't have to worry about treating.
Well, you're doing a great thing about just, again, this awareness campaign of letting people know this is a real problem. Hopefully they'll do something about it and start doing those screenings just like you mentioned to us. Thanks for coming in from MD Anderson. You guys do the most amazing work over there, making a difference in our community.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
All right, we're at 8:42 right now.